Can you lead yourself in silent prayer? So many of the docs that we interact with in our coach consulting company really have a hard time leading themselves in silent prayer, and their lack of leadership skills is costing them joy, fulfillment, not to mention abundance, prosperity, and the ability to fulfill their purpose and their mission here on the planet. The good news is that leadership skills are completely trainable. They're completely coachable. So we want to share with you in today's vlog 3 secrets to patient communication and leadership that will move your practice to the next level. The famous UCLA Bruins basketball coach, John Wooden, who won more NCAA titles. In fact, he won 10 titles in 12 years, a record that's never been broken. When he brought his new players into camp every year, he always said the same thing. He said, "I'm not going to treat you all as equals because you're not equals." And you can take that exact same message, you guys, and apply it to your interactions with your patients. They're all unique individuals, and they're all at different phases of care. We're going to talk about 3 primary phases of relationship with you, and how if you lead them in a slightly different way during these 3 phases, you're going to be getting better results as a leader. The first level of care, you're with somebody, they're usually there because they feel like they have to be there. They're in some sort of a crisis or commonly some sort of a pain. As a result of that, you need to tell these people what it is that they need to do. You need to assert a very, what we call dictatorial or military style, leadership style, okay? And don't be afraid to do this. They don't know what they don't know. Tell them what they need to know. Tell them what's wrong. Tell them when they need to come. Tell them how to pay their bills. Tell them how to book appointments. Be very, very assertive with them. Think like Marine drill sergeant, but tune it down like maybe 10 notches, okay? Again, very direct, very assertive. Now, as we move on to the next phase of care, though, what we would commonly refer to as type 2 or reconstructive release care, most docs talk about, this is where the relationship is becoming much more voluntary in their eyes. Okay, it's always voluntary, obviously, but in their eyes, early on, they've got a problem and they want you to fix it. Okay, now it's becoming more voluntary. They're maybe not quite as crisis oriented, God willing. Their body's healing. They're starting to respond to care. And as a result of that, you need to shift. If you stay in a military dictatorial type of relationship, you're going to turn these people away. All right. What you need to move into is what we would call more of a Gandhi-like or moral leadership, it's often referred to. This is basically less tele-assertive, and it's not like you don't still tell them things. It's just the tone and intention and the velocity and or volume with which you do it. So this is much more leading by example. It's less tele-assertive and more ask-assertive. It's more of a dialogue. It's more of a give and take at this level, and it's way less, as I said earlier, dictatorial. All right. And again, think of this gentle little brown man from India who led in a non-violent way, led an entire nation out of oppression from the British governing council that was there at the time, which was at that time the most powerful nation in the world, literally in a non-violent way led an entire nation to freedom, right? That's the avatar you want to put in your mind. When you get to the next phase of care, which we commonly refer to as phase 3 or wellness style care, it's a very voluntary relationship. These are usually very high functioning, highly conscious people. If you try to pull some, dictatorial leadership crap on them, they're going to go. And a lot of docs make a mistake like that. They're still really militant with how they're educating and talking to these people. Error at this level. You want to take moral leadership to its highest level, what we call samurai or alpha leadership. No one needs to tell somebody who an alpha leader is, okay? Everybody just knows it. It's said in a wolf pack, when the alpha dies, there's no election. The next alpha just steps in. Same as a samurai. When a samurai was killed in battle, there's no election. The next lead samurai, everybody knew who it was, and they just picked up the sword and went on. So these are people who have mastered the other levels and styles of leadership and live their lives with such integrity and such excellence relative to the principles and the values that they espouse in their businesses that people just want to hang out with them. People just want to be around them. They just cast such a beautiful light and such an amazing energy. It's like a vacuum. People just get sucked into that. So these are people that are really walking their talk at the highest level. If they say that you should be getting checked on a weekly basis, they and their families get checked on a weekly basis. If they say that you should have a lean, mean body, they have a lean, mean body. If they say that you should be getting 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night, they get that. Do you get it? It's like it's really just walking your talk and living life at the highest example. So, to review, 3 different styles or phases of leadership so you can learn to at least lead yourself in silent prayer. And depending upon where the patients are in the relationship with you time-wise, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, if you modify and adapt your leadership style and the tell assertive versus ask assertive versus living your life in excellence way that you are communicating with them, you're going to have a lot better results. Again, generally speaking, phase 1 initial intensive, you want to be very tell assertive and very direct. Don't be afraid to be a little bit militant here, to tell them all they need to know. As they move through the relationship, though, you move into that sort of more Gandhi moral type leadership, and eventually ending up as, God willing, that alpha samurai leader, person that's living your life with such excellence and such integrity that people just want to hang out with you and become a part of your circle of influence as you help them and their families get and stay well for the rest of their lives. This is Dr. Tom challenging you to be more so you can do more and have more of what your heart authentically desires.